Hey guys, Danny here. Today we're looking at another drone. This is the Eachine EG16. This was sent to me for review from Banggood as part of their summer sale event, so thanks to Banggood. If you want to check out their event, which includes lots of discounts and coupon codes, you can check out the link below, and also of course I'll put a link for this product down in the description for you. Now this drone is very similar in design to some of the others that I've already reviewed in the past, such as the Vizio drone. It's sharing a very similar foldable design, but what's really interesting about this one that you'll notice straight away is it does have a motorized camera on the front, and this one is really good compared to some of the others that I've previously tested. Now it does say it's 4K, and there is also a micro SD slot that you can save the files to, so hopefully the quality is pretty good. Overall, I do like the design of this drone. The plastic on it doesn't feel too cheap. It doesn't feel super high quality, but it certainly isn't bad. You have these popular style batteries that you're seeing quite a lot. This is 1800 milliamp hours, which supposedly should give us up to a 14-minute flight time, but of course I'll be testing that and letting you know what sort of time I get later on in the video. Now I do definitely prefer foldable drones. Throughout the many that I've tested on this channel so far, foldable drones are still my favorite just because of how compact and easy they are to carry around. Now this does also have several other features such as GPS. There is also a downward facing camera here, which is used for optical flow positioning. Apparently you can also use this as part of a camera on the app, so you can switch between cameras. I totally missed this and didn't test this out during my test, so sorry about that guys. This product also has a slightly different controller design to some of the others that I've previously seen. It has a inbuilt phone holder, which I really like and just makes it nice and easy. You don't have to carry around any extra pieces with you. It does have labeled buttons and a really nice feel to the sticks on the front. They feel like they're made out of metal, but I can't entirely tell, but they just feel good quality. There's also some buttons on the back. You have one for adjusting the angle of the camera, a speed controller, and also the camera buttons as well. There is also a mini screen which shows you the battery life for the controller and the drone, and some extra stats like its altitude and how far away it is from you. The controller does also take 4 AAA batteries. Something to note, I was a bit disappointed with the positioning for the micro SD slot. You can see it sticks out a fair amount when you have it in the drone, which I don't like. Okay, onto the flight test for this drone, where I'll be showing you some of the features and giving you my thoughts. So initially when I first took off the drone, I thought it was really stable, and as you'll see, I took my hand off of the controls and it held really nice and steady. Now this is using GPS as well as optical flow positioning, and it does quite aggressively stabilize itself, but you can get some nice stable shots with this drone. As you can see, I take my hands off the controller for a pretty long period of time and it holds its position really nicely. One thing that was a little bit annoying with this is when you adjust the camera angle, you get this really annoying beep that continuously beeps when you hold down the adjustment button. There may be a way to turn this off, I'm not entirely sure, but it was a little bit annoying. I suppose it does give you feedback that something is actually happening. You just have this annoying beep that goes on at the same time. The camera feed coming through to my smartphone was really good quality, so I did have high expectations for the video files themselves. The Wi-Fi feed was also really strong most of the time. I was able to take this quite far out, I'll show you that shortly. And the control for the drone felt nice and responsive. As I said, it did quite aggressively try to stabilize itself the moment you take your hands off the controls. Also, please note the head cam and the Wi-Fi feed are out of sync. I've been having this problem lately and I'm struggling to sort it out, so you have to bear with me there, sorry about that. I didn't actually get any footage, but the little display on the controller is really nice and handy to have. So you do get your height or your altitude, if you want to call it that, and also the distance that the drone is away from you, which is really nice to know. If you're quite far and you're finding it hard to see the drone, you can tell exactly how far away it is and how high it is as well at all times. Here's a really good example of why having an adjustable camera is a really useful feature. So when you go above yourself, you can tilt the camera down and get a really nice view of yourself. This is one of my favorite things to do if I have a drone with an adjustable camera, to take it up and just get a nice shot, pan down and take a look at yourself. It's always fun to do. The drone felt fairly responsive when I was ascending and descending the drone. Sometimes with GPS lock on drones, they can be a bit aggressive, so when you try and adjust your altitude, they really kind of restrict the speed you do this at just to maintain good control, but this one didn't feel too bad. I was able to take it up and down fairly quickly, which was nice. Next, I decided to do a little range test. I was taking the drone out, and once it got to around 180 meters, the feed started to become a little bit choppy and unresponsive. I managed to get to about 200 meters in the end. I could have pushed it further, but I didn't want to risk losing connection with the drone, and also it was getting to the point where it was quite hard to see the drone, so I decided to hit the return to home button, as I also wanted to test this feature. It raised up and then it turned around and started to return back. One thing I noticed, which was a little bit strange when it was on its way back to me, instead of kind of following a straight line and just heading back, it seemed to almost be like it was using a waypoint system, because it would kind of stop, straighten out, then it would start, straighten out, start, and straighten out again. It just looked a little bit strange the way it was flying back to me. It's hard to pick up from the Wi-Fi feed. It wasn't really a smooth process when it returned to me, but it didn't really cause me any major problems. It just looked a little bit janky in the air when it was heading back. For some reason, when it got to this last part, it ascended and went higher before it then came down to land. It landed pretty close to me, pretty much the same as most GPS drones would. They never land exactly where they took off from, but it's normally a few meters from exactly where you took the drone off from, so no problems there. One thing you need to bear in mind when you're flying this drone is I did get a very short battery warning. So when I got the low battery warning, it only took about a minute before the battery was completely dead, so you do have to be careful there. I also only got about a 10-minute total flight time, which is a little bit disappointing, as a 14-minute flight time was stated for this product, so I would have liked a little bit closer. Some of your times may vary depending how much wind there are and how aggressively you're flying the drone. The camera quality for this drone, I think, is pretty solid. Of course, it's not perfect. It does suffer from some kind of jitteriness when you're moving around, and these like weird lines that go through the camera, almost as if the frame rate is a bit low and it's struggling to keep up with what's going on. But I think you will struggle to find a drone at this price and for the same features with a camera that's this quality. I haven't reviewed every drone out there, so there may well be some drones that have better cameras than this one at a similar price, but for the ones that I've tested, this is pretty solid, and I overall think this is quite a good drone to use if you're a beginner, because it has a lot of safety features in place. You have your adjustable camera, you have an okay flight time, but overall I think this is quite a well-rounded product. It doesn't excel in any area, but for its price I think it's a pretty solid deal. I was a little bit disappointed with the battery life that I got during my flight test, but you can pick up different options with this drone which come with 2 or even 3 batteries. They do add a fair bit to the cost, but I would recommend going for at least the 2 battery option if you want to get a decent flight time out of this. So I have no problems recommending this drone if you are okay with some of the small issues that it has with the camera and the battery life, but I definitely think you won't be disappointed if this is one of your first drones and you just want something to mess around with and get some cool camera shots. As always, I'll put a link down in the description for you if you want to pick one of these up. I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And of course, I will see you in the next one.